Okay, the first videos will be at Pine Coulee Reservoir in Alberta. Beautiful day and no snow on the ice. We usually catch pike. Occasionally we'll catch some walleye and rainbow, but mostly pike, and we enjoy that. Okay, is it worth getting an ice fishing tent? Well, for one thing, it allows for a longer ice fishing day, especially when it's very cold. Definitely it will increase the comfort, and the environment will be something like a day camping, similar idea. Also, it's important to choose the right color for a tent. Visibility. Some lakes that you go to, you have these skidoos and cars racing across. So it feels good when you have something very red, which is why we got the Eskimo tent. This so happened, this one was a limited edition, so I had the plaid look, which is okay. Having a tent also will protect your equipment, electronics, especially when it's a little bit wet. You should consider the size and weight of your tent. I know the one I have right now is the Eskimo. I think it's called a 450 limited edition. I was thinking of getting the 650, which is a little bit bigger. It would weigh about 60 pounds. And this one, the 450, weighs about 40 pounds. We were going to carry everything on two sled. It would have been okay, but it's something you want to take into consideration. Plus, how many people are going to be ice fishing? If it's just one or two, then the 450 is great. But if you're going to have 3 and 4, then you definitely want to get either the 650 or the 850 size. The 850 would definitely be a must if you're going to do overnight ice fishing. Insulated tent. This is an insulated tent, so I certainly would recommend that than using a non-insulated one. Keep in mind, these ice fishing tents are not suitable for summer camping. They're not waterproof, and even with a tarp, it's limited. And it's also nice to have a heated tent. In other words, you either have a Mr. Buddy heater or diesel heater. It reduces the need to open up for storage. When you go home, you got to open up, let it dry out. In particular, the diesel heater does a beautiful job of keeping it dry. And to add to comfort, get ice fishing chairs. Don't get the real big ones. You have limited space. With the Buddy heater, we have both. We have the Buddy heater. It does produce moisture and it takes up space because you have it inside. You have a hot heat source. With a diesel heater, we have it outside. We just slip the hose underneath the tent. And so it increases more space within the tent and you have dry air. With a diesel heater, there's no frost on the inside of the tent. Even moisture from breathing. When it's cold enough, the walls can develop frost. With a diesel heater, we don't have that problem. Another thing that's great to have is rubber interlocking square mats. It dries quick in case you're going in and out, and it's nice not walking on something wet, because when you have a warm tent, you're going to have the ground melt, the ice on the surface melt a little bit. So having the rubber mat on top, you can walk around your socks if you keep the mat dry. A table requirement may be needed. We use the 20-gallon blue bins with the cover off or upside down. And we also use milk cartons for some of our setup of the fish finders. It's good to have power tools, and get a power anchor tool for the drill, unless you want to do it all manually. I find with the Eskimo tent, I think they shortchange it by 2 or 3 anchors, which we bought extra, because when it's really windy, you want to tie down every place that there is a place for an anchor. And anchor tool doesn't come with it, so you have to pick one up. So I think 2 things: anchor tool for your drill and get some extra anchors. Okay, I think with that set up, it should be good. Okay, we'll show some more slides here, or pictures, give you an idea, the feel inside the tent. At this particular time in Pine Coulee, the ice was a good 3 feet thick. In fact, when I was drilling it with my Milwaukee drill using the cam assembly, you can see that on another video. I didn't have the gearbox on it, and it didn't have the extension at the time. I don't think I've showed it anywhere, but the ice was so thick that I literally had to hit the ice with my hands before I drilled through. So keep that in mind. You definitely might need an extension. In fact, I leave the extension on all the time because it's just perfect height and comfort. I don't have to bend down or lean over. It makes it so much easier for your back. You will see videos where some of my equipment, like our Lawrence Active Target, I have videos on that. You'll see the Markham camera and the rotor. Takes beautiful pictures, and there's videos on that. We just use an 8-inch hand drill. We just took the handle off and put it on this cam assembly. There's a video on that if you want more details. I wouldn't go for a 6-inch. You need at least 8-inch, because if you're going to be using equipment like the Garmin Ice Fish Finder, stuff like that. So the videos are there, and I'll check, see what's next. Okay, the next segment is going to be Burnstick Lake. There's a limit, I think 25, 26 inch. I forget what it is in millimeters now. And you're only allowed 1 each. So 2 is the most we can get. And I would say 80%, 90% of the time, we always manage to catch 1, sometimes 2 that met that criteria. Not too often did we get skunked. So, and it's a nice lake for setting up ice fishing, I find. There's one jaw jacker. There's the other one. Yeah. And do a wide angle. We have our fish here. And and that's our, yeah. And then there we go, wide angle. There we go. That's scout mode, they call it. You can see our 3 lures right there. And that's how it looks underneath there. Oh yeah. There we go. We got now. Making noise, huh? So you can record it. Okay, let's. Turning out to be a real beautiful day. It's gonna be above 0, I think. Ice nice and thick. That was 6 inches of fresh snow on top of it. And we brought our truck a little bit further out this time. There are some people who drove all over the lake. There's one way over there. Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. There. 360 degrees. There you go. There's Vic fishing at 43 feet. Our tent and truck, we're at about 28 feet.
Hey there. How's things going in here?
Okay. We really enjoyed ice fishing. We were properly set up. We had, some real good bibs and jacket, at least 2 sleds, so we each were able to carry everything when the snow was too deep or the ice was too thin for a vehicle. Definitely want a shovel, because you have a simple plastic one. Clearing the snow where you're going to put the tent brightens the light underneath the ice, and sometimes outside when you're taking pictures, video, especially the deeper the water is, then the more light you need. Otherwise, it gets too dark, and so your vision is very limited. And you'll see jaw jackers. We definitely prefer those over the standard one. They work better. They're more effective in catching. And of course, the transducer rod that you might see that's sticking in the ice was homemade initially. Later on, I replaced with a commercial one. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think the next video is going to be Ghost River. We love Pine Coulee. Unfortunately, this year no ice fishing is allowed. We loved Burnstick, but it's a longer trip for us. But we like to go there every so often. Ghost Lake, that was new. So we only fished there in 1 year. It was a challenge. The mountain white fish, they were hard to catch. No matter what we did, we tried every sorts of things. I think we have an idea what we need to use. One thing about the Martin camera and the active target, it really teaches you how fish behave and your mistakes. So, and it's enjoyable. Okay, let's play the next segment. Okay, this is a picture of our diesel heater, the all-in-one. It's great for ice fishing. And we initially got a longer hose, but we found it wasn't necessary. It's a little short one, just enough to get underneath. It kept the place warm and dry. We, even though it's minus 20 or whatever, just a jacket inside. So it was great. Okay, the next one is Insulated Lake. It's a stock pond, lots of rainbow. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos wintertime, just summer ones. We'll save it up for another video. So, in conclusion, getting an ice fish tent is a good idea, I think. It's certainly good to know the things that you need with it or what to watch out for. Extra items, no surprise. It will definitely make it a nice and comfortable experience when you're properly equipped and properly dressed. And you can take advantage of those really cold winters if you're properly set up. It's actually quite fun. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we have lots more to come. We haven't even started. We won't really be doing really good ice fishing until the ice freezes over. The lakes freeze it over with ice. And now that we're planning for YouTube, hopefully the quality will improve a lot too.